Cheers.
Still behind me, Thomas. Rico, you here?
I'm here.
Okay. Hello, and so today we are cooking another Greek recipe, prawn saganaki. I have added Coke to ouzo, but
because we're having a Greek meal this week, we've decided to have a Greek wine. Santorini, famous island in Greece. It's natural cork, 14% by alcohol. Traditionally, saganaki is a dish that's cooked in small plates. Now you can make it with mussels and with prawns, and we are making a prawn saganaki.
okay.
Argentinian prawns are pink.
That's right. That's why you were front of house.
Thomas, did I create trouble?
Yeah.
See, he can say that now. You wouldn't have got away with saying that before. Why?
This is 700 grams of frozen king prawns by this.
It's shit. I can't remember that. That's we used to call it shit bag. You just put a fork in, easy way, and just pull it out.
And this is how we used to serve them, like that. So,
Obviously cooked. Now the onion's starting to soften, we're going to start adding the prawns. Cheers.
cheers, Thomas.
To get a bit of colour on the prawns, I'm going to season them. Salt and pepper.
That white part behind the scenes, you have to take that out because that's where the heat is.
Now we're going to add some ouzo.
Oh, the most important part.
That's his fondue.
That's it.
Okay, and what do they say in Canada?
Oppa!
These are cooked.
That's the prawns now being put into the pans. So there we go, absolutely delicious. To taste.
Our first taste of the Santorini.
Thomas is not a wine drinker. It's absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
I could get the spice of the pepper. I don't get floral from it.
Okay. Okay.
I need to add on here, we've all kind of dug into the milk, and I certainly do get the ouzo taste, Thomas.
Yeah.
I really do, just enough of it. I felt I needed to add this to the end of the video. Even you that is not a wine drinker, if a wine's corked, it is so distinctive, you would know. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Andri and welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to Thomas and welcome to Rico. So we have another guest with us here. If you have been watching our wine reviews, you will have heard me speak about Thomas in the past. Thomas is Kelly's brother, my daughter-in-law's brother, and Thomas is the one that gave us the steaks in last week's video. So today we are cooking another Greek recipe. It is prawn saganaki, and Thomas will be cooking that. Rico will be doing his usual review, and I will be keeping an eye on everybody. I have ouzo and Diet Coke, and for all those of you out there will be very surprised that I have added Coke to ouzo, but trust me, it is absolutely delicious. So it's a long drink, dash of, well, it's more than a dash of ouzo, so it's ouzo with Coke. So on that, cheers, over to Rico for his wine review.
Well, hello again, and because we're having a Greek meal this week, we've decided to have a Greek wine. This particular wine is Santorini. Obviously from the name you know it comes from the island of Santorini, which is a part of the Cyclades group of islands. Famous island in Greece. It's a volcanic island, great for growing vines, especially wine vines. And this particular wine is from Artemis Karamolegos. It's a 2017 natural cork, a whopping 14% by alcohol. As I said, it's a blend, but most of the wines I've had previously from Santorini have been a single grape, especially the first grape in this wine, which is a Syrtigo. The only other wine I've ever had from Santorini has been an Edani, also in this wine, and the other grape is Athri. The ratio is a Syrtigo 90%, Edani and Athri together 10%. A bit of information about the winery itself. The winery was founded in 1952 by Artemis Karamolegos. I still find that a tongue twister. But anyway, it was founded in 1952, but in 2003, the grandson, who's also named Artemis, took over the winery, and from then it has gone from strength to strength. They now have a very modern winery. It's been expanded, modern winery. They have a restaurant, they have tours, everything that the modern day winery has. All these grapes that are in this wine are grown locally in Santorini. They're from selected vineyards owned by the winery. And I'm actually looking forward to tasting this wine. Another wee note I would say about the wine, I had a wee read about it, and they said you should chill the wine down, and 15 minutes before you drink it, take it out of the fridge, open it, and then it'll be at the right temperature, which they say should be about 10 degrees Celsius.
And I would say at that point it's a matter of taste. How much is the wine?
This particular wine is available from selected wine merchants. This one came from Woodwinters in Bridge of Allen in Scotland. It's available for about 23 to 25 pounds per bottle.
I like Thomas, you should have seen Thomas's gasp behind you there. Which is expensive for wine. Well, it's an average, well, it's not your average £5 bottle of wine.
It's not even your average £10 bottle of wine,
right,
or
okay.
£12 bottle of wine. It can get that level of, obviously it's worth that. I did say earlier it was a 2017, and it will age for 7 years and be perfectly okay.
Just before we get into our recipe today, I would like to add that Thomas used to work with us in the restaurant, just in case you missed last week's video. So yeah, he was one of our chefs. In the background here you will see another young chap. This is Thomas's nephew. This is our Sean. So I just thought I would introduce him. He was just interested to see the goings on of YouTube. So boys, over to you. Tell us about the recipe.
Today we're going to cook Saganaki, which can mean a variety of things in Greek cuisine. Traditionally, Saganaki is a dish that's cooked in small plates or small metal dishes. The word Saganaki comes from the Turkish sahan, which means a copper pan, but it has been expanded. Most Saganakis are cheese, may I say, where they would cook a cheese like halloumi or gefarodiri or caviari, which are traditional.
We used to do cheese Saganaki in the restaurant as well.
And separate cheeses, and they would be fried in a copper pan, and when the cheese starts bubbling you would add maybe a touch of black pepper, a squeeze of lemon juice, and serve. But now the recipe's been expanded and they're baked in the oven, tomatoes added. Now you can make it with mussels and with prawns, and we are making a prawn saganaki.
Okay, and the ingredients are?
Nice king prawns here, which Thomas is going to peel.
So you bought these as frozen king prawns?
I bought them as frozen king prawns.
And as you can see, the prawns are grey in colour, and that signifies that they are raw.
Yep.
Because a lot of people will see the prawns pink, but they are cooked prawns.
Argentinian prawns are pink.
That's right.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was going to just add that other prawns are not.
Yeah.
Yes. Even if you get langoustines, which are classed as a prawn, or some people class them as Dublin Bay prawn. Yeah. They're pink. So.
Well, there you go. Yes. I honestly thought a prawn that wasn't cooked was grey, and all prawns that were pink were cooked prawns. There you go.
That's why you were front of house.
This is what I had to put up with, you see. Thomas always said he hated when I walked into the kitchen, didn't you, Thomas? Hated it. Why did you hate it, Thomas? Did I create trouble?
Yeah, a lot of it.
See, he can say that now. You wouldn't have got away with saying that before. Back to the recipe.
Okay, back to the recipe. We've got about, this is 700 grams of frozen king prawns. By the time we peel them and the water loss and everything else, it'll probably be about 500 grams of king prawn. We're using red onion today, which is about, it's a very large red onion, 1 very large red onion, or 2 medium onions.
Okay.
We've got some chilli, 2 medium chilies, red chilies, and I've de-seeded them and diced them. Some diced, we've got 3 cloves of garlic diced there. We've got fresh dill, that would be about 2 tablespoons in there, 2 tablespoons of parsley. We use about a teaspoon of oregano, olive oil for cooking, salt and pepper. We're going to put some ouzo in this.
Which I've already tasted.
Yes, and we're going to put crushed tomato, passata, and we're going to finish with some barrel-aged feta.
Thomas, it's over to you now. So you're going to show us how to peel these prawns just now.
So you just start peeling like this.
It's just taking all the shell off.
Yeah.
Which is quite easy to do. Yeah, that comes off quite easily.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've taken the tail off as well?
Yeah, and
okay.
you need to take this bit out here, devein it.
Devein it,
okay.
That's what's called deveining.
You just put a fork in, the easy way, and just pull it out.
If you didn't take that out, is that bad for you?
I don't think you'd do anything wrong to you, but it's just for hygiene reasons.
And you should take it out. It's not going to do you any harm, but it could
it's not going to do you any good.
No. It's a bit of bitterness in the
right,
prawn.
okay, that's what I was going to say. Does it add a bad taste to the prawn?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it, the prawn being deveined now.
That's it.
So we're just going to slice down the back of the prawn, and that just makes sure that everything is taken out, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's the prawn prepped and ready to be cooked.
Yeah.
Now, another way of prepping the prawns is once you've deveined it, but this time you leave the tail on.
You leave the bottom part of the tail on here. It's for a bit of decoration. We used to call them butterfly king prawns in the restaurant.
Okay.
And you fold it back through in itself here. So you cut right through. And you fold the tail back through in itself. And then when you put it into your pan, the tail obviously goes red, and it makes a nice
decoration on the plate. And this is how we used to serve them, like that. So
obviously cooked.
Yeah. So here we have a bit of behind the scenes footage. Rico and Thomas are quickly peeling the rest of the prawns ready for cooking.
You can buy prawns like this.
Already peeled.
Already peeled, headless and deveined. Okay.
So why did you buy them like this? Was it
I
just
prefer them like that.
okay?
I know what I've got.
So you couldn't miss out this whole process by just buying them ready and then just to cook them with the recipe that we're going to show you. Okay, so that's the prawns. They've been rinsed. We're just draining now just to dry them off slightly so they're not soaking wet when they go into the hot oil. Okay, so Thomas has put the pan on to heat. Again, these are the AMC pots.
Yeah.
So you're now going to put
Add
in
some olive oil.
And like Rico, Thomas doesn't measure anything.
No, just gotta let that heat up. What about the onion?
So that's the oil now heated, and you can tell that the oil has heated up because you can see the smoke coming up from it. So,
Yeah.
Thomas.
So we're gonna add some onion, red onion.
So you're softening the onion, browning the onion? You're finding it hard not to say anything,
No,
are you, Rico?
just softening it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't like a strong flavour of onion, then you add less onion.
Add another bit of oil.
Okay, so Thomas feels it needs more oil.
So now the onion's starting to soften, we're going to start adding the prawns.
Okay. So you add them in one at a time. See, I would have just thrown them all in.
Get them out of it. There we go.
And we'll add the heat up again.
So you're turning up the heat.
Yeah.
So the heat's now being turned up. And you can see the prawns now are turning a pink colour, which is what we were saying earlier on.
Cheers.
Cheers, Thomas.
We're starting to get a bit of colour on the prawns. I'm going to season them, salt and pepper. And now we're going to add some garlic.
Okay.
We're going to add some oregano now.
Okay.
Separate oregano.
Which has a distinctive taste. It's a much stronger taste. Regani.
That's about a teaspoon going in.
And the aromas in here are absolutely breathtaking. So absolutely delicious.
Now we're going to add some chilli.
Again, the chilli depends on how hot you like your dishes.
Yeah, your preference.
Can I add here, these were medium chilies and I de-seeded them and took out the membrane, whatever you want to call it. Is there that white part behind the seeds? You have to take that out because that's where the heat is.
Alright, I didn't know
the
that.
seeds, that's a myth.
Yeah.
I didn't know that
It's
actually.
the membrane that contains the heat, not the seeds, as Rico said. Now we're going to add some ouzo.
Oh, the most important part.
It's about 2 good tablespoons.
That's his flambe.
That's it.
Okay, and what do they say in Canada?
Oppa!
Nice bit of flambeing going on there.
Now we're going to add some white wine.
So just adding some dill to the dish.
What do you think?
Quick stir. I love the flavour of dill.
Yeah, I love that one as well.
Do you as well? I love it. I think it's really good with chicken dishes and yeah.
It has that, dill has that aniseed flavour, which is complements the
with the
ouzo.
ouzo,
Yeah. If you don't have ouzo, by the way, you could use Pernod. It has that, or pasties. These are all the sort of same sort of flavour of drinks. Or you could omit it completely if you don't, like that, if you don't like that.
If you don't take alcohol.
Yeah, if you don't take alcohol, you can use star anise, it's a herb, and
So it has.
adds the aniseed flavour.
What does it look
So
like?
the Chinese use
A
it a lot.
star. It's in the shape of a star.
Yeah,
Right,
they use it
okay.
in their dishes, like say for Peking duck and all things like that. Chinese five spice, there's a lot of it in that. So now we're just adding some tomato. That's stuff.
Okay. Just letting all the flavours blend in.
Yeah. Prawns are cooked. We're just adding a bit of parsley.
Okay, Thomas is now going to put them into the dishes. Going to top them with some feta cheese and then put them in the grill. That's the prawns now being put into the pans. And we're going to put them under the grill. These are the prawns that Thomas folded in themselves. We're just crumbling some feta over them. And all you need now is some crusty bread once they're cooked, just to dip in.
Fresh parsley before we put them under the grill.
Just to melt the feta over the prawns. There we go. Rico's just going to get the wine out the fridge because it needs to sit out for a couple of minutes.
Well, 10 minutes. By the time those prawns come out, it'll be ready. I'll just open it as well just now.
We just have a quick look at the label. This is what the label looks like. There we go.
So by the time the prawns are ready, the wine will be ready.
There we go.
Yep.
Sizzling.
Oh, looking good.
Absolutely beautiful. So we're just going to put each one of these onto the plates.
Yeah.
All you need is a bit of crusty bread.
And Andri is getting a decent measurement this time.
And you're not, Thomas?
Our first taste of the Santorini by Artemis Karamolegos. On the nose, it's full of fruit. It's full of stone fruit, pear, getting a bit of apple, and perhaps it's got some floral notes.
Very perfumed, in your opinion. It
In
has
my
floral
opinion, it's got
notes.
floral
Like,
notes, yes. Various things going on. I'm going to have a wee taste. When you taste the wine, it's a lovely wine, full of fruit, as it is on the nose, and it's got layer after layer of taste. It is an outstanding wine. Outstanding.
okay. Thomas is not a wine drinker. You don't actually take alcohol, do you? You're not really...
No, but it's nice. It's a nice wine.
Are you getting all the florals that
No.
Rico's... No.
He's a professional.
Okay.
I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional. I just enjoy my wine. And that, when I smelled the wine, that's what I could smell. I could smell pear, a bit of apple. I could smell floral notes. When you smell it and you get all these aromas from it, that's what I could smell from the wine. It is a good wine. Definitely.
As you know, I always like to taste my food first.
Yeah.
So we'll see, Thomas, if you still have your magic touch. So let's see. I would say it's absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
I could get the spice of the pepper, the hotness of the pepper, just enough where it doesn't overpower the dish. It's absolutely delicious. Even the tomato is just there, a hint of tomato, the feta, just perfect. Let me taste the wine. Go.
Do you get the ouzo taste? The aniseed flavour?
I think that would be quite hard for me because I've already had an ouzo just now, but that's quite an interesting point actually, Thomas, that you just made there. But I think because I've been drinking ouzo, I've already got the taste of ouzo in my mouth. So the ouzo isn't the most distinctive taste that's coming through, but let's taste the wine. So you're saying floral?
Well, I said pear and apple and floral. I could get all those notes from it.
I don't get floral from it.
Okay.
There is a smoothness to it.
But
It's an okay wine. It's an easy drinking wine. It's okay. It's not very distinctive in its tastes to me. But complements the Saganaki very well. Cheers.
cheers. I would disagree with you that it's an okay wine. I think it's an excellent wine. And where you'll feel it's an excellent wine, when you drink this wine, you'll feel the flavour of it 5 minutes later, even with this food. I think that's what distincts different wines. Okay?
I need to add on here, we've all kind of dug into the milk, and I certainly do get the ouzo taste, Thomas.
Yeah.
I really do, just enough of it. I felt I needed to add this to the end of the video. Yeah,
Thank you.
so good.